Okay. So, hello everyone. Welcome to Dev Talks. This is an engaging session as a part of our 10 days of code organized by GNU Linux Users Group NIT Durgapur. We are really very excited to have you all join us in this event for an inspiring, dedicated, and insightful event that will give us some valuable insights from the industry experts and enhancing our understanding of cutting edge technologies. I'm Vishal Kumar, your host for this session, representing GNU Linux Users Group NIT Durgapur. That is a very vibrant community that fosters creativity, collaboration in the world of open source. So today we are incredibly lucky to be joined by someone who has really bridged the gap between being just a student and by becoming a global voice in the cloud native ecosystem. He is a developer advocate at DigitalOcean, a core maintainer for Meshery with CNCF, and has graced the stages of KubeCon from Europe to China. He's here to show us that cloud native isn't just a buzzword for senior architects. It's a playground for anyone willing to build in public and solve some hard problems. Please join me in giving a very warm welcome to Mr. Yash Sharma.
Thank you, Vishal, for having me. I'm excited to share my experience with you all. And yeah,
So, Yash, I would be throwing some questions on you. Are you ready?
yeah, I'm ready. And I'm always ready for this stage.
Okay.
If anyone asks me, do you want to go on a stage from from my time from my college? I always said, yeah, I'm the first one happy to go on the stage.
That sounds great. So, you have incredibly unique role as a developer advocate in DigitalOcean. For many of us students, we mostly hear about traditional SD roles or data science roles. Could you walk us through what your typical day looks like and how you bridge the gap between deep engineering and engaging with the developer community?
Sure. That's a good question, by the way. DevRel, it's kind of new, not new. It's been emerging for a while now, but it got popular recently because maybe from because of the tech Twitter, which says DevRel travels a lot or something. But the thing is, if I want to give you an example of my day-to-day work, I just want to give you an very quick flashback how I came here. So I used to work as a software engineer for 2 years. I contributed in open source communities for 3, 4 years now. And later I realized when I became a maintainer of a project that because as a maintainer, you also promote the project in various conferences. You have to make sure you are leading in the industry, right? So
Yes.
during that time, I was working as a software engineer, and one of my friend told me that whatever you're doing is a we call it a developer advocate position where you work on the code side and you also try to help project or your work enable in the communities. So I was like, yeah, I love going to the conferences, speaking, coming to the communities and everything. I also love working on hard uh, software problems, hard problems. So then I got an opportunity in DigitalOcean to work with amazing engineers. My day-to-day is like more like of working with product managers, working with mainly with the DigitalOcean managed Kubernetes cluster product managers, helping them make sure we are presenting in the leading conferences, we are presenting our products or open source initiatives that we have in through the demos, going to the doing webinars and things, and helping DigitalOcean be more active in CNCF community as well. There are a couple of ways developer advocates do that. Yeah.
So now that sounds like a lot of work. That's really interesting,
Yeah.
especially how you blend your like engineering and community work. So my next question would be for students who have only run their code in their own laptops, the cloud feels like a bit very confusing or abstract. From your experience at DigitalOcean, how would you explain what the cloud actually does And why is it useful for student to start learning about it early instead of seeing it like something very advanced?
Yeah, sure. Uh, it's like if I try to explain you with if you are new in a first year, second year, or any in any year of your college, cloud is a it's a great thing you should learn. But if I want to explain you what cloud is, well, try to understand is like you are running resources on your machine, right? But it has its own bottleneck, it has its own limitations, right? You can't run everything, you can't run your ml model, or you can't run big projects on your machine, right? Or maybe
Yeah.
you have 24 GB RAM, or maybe you have 120 GB RAM, but still you can't do many things. So to train a ML model, you may want to set up your own server in your house, which will, let's say, you want to buy a NVIDIA H100, H200 GPU. It will cost you thousands of dollars, thousands, hundreds, and thousands of dollars. A single NVIDIA GPU cost thousands of dollars. So just
Yes.
to train your model, you will get, let's say, you want three GPUs, and you spend maybe $20,000 or $1 lakh. Who cares? But it's very costly, right? Just to train a model. Instead,
Yes.
cloud services like us, like DigitalOcean, we say to you is that we already have an infrastructure for you guys. You just rent it. So maybe I don't know if some of you may live outside of your city. So I live in Hyderabad. So I came here for my job, but now since I live here, I need to build a home, right? So I got a flat on rent, and on inside that flat, I got sofa, bed, and many things on rent. Instead of buying myself, because if I will buy, the flat and the sofa and the bed will cost me crores, right? Which I
Yes.
don't want to spend. Instead, I just spend couple of lakhs, and it worked out for me because that's feasible for me. I don't want to be here for whole my life, maybe, right? So
Yes.
that's why. That's a cloud thing. You don't want to invest in resources which you are not going to use in the future. You will just rent it from the cloud. They already have thousands of GB, lakhs of GP, or so GB of RAM, resources, CPU. Just rent from them, and that's what cloud is. Use them.
Now that was some super clear way to explain something that often feels like intimidating. So moving on to my next question, like we see Kubernetes all over your work, and it's often described as something like very hard to learn. In simple terms, what problem does Kubernetes solve in deployment that traditional single server or script based setups fail to handle at system scale?
Well, that's a good question, and that's that's not easy to digest if you are learning right now web development or something. But let me try to explain you in a simple language, because
Sure, sir.
someone told me if I can't explain things in to a 5 year old, then I don't know what that thing is. So I will try my best to explain you. So I am thinking that you, whoever is listening right now, is coming with a background where they are learning web development. Even if you are in the working the production, that's good. But considering that, let's go with that way. So I have to explain Kubernetes. I have to explain the concept of containerization. So you built your web server, for example, right?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Or you build your C++ or any script that you run, right? Right, and then you build binary for it, right? For
Yeah.
your application. So from the first year we learn C++, and then we write very simple scripts, and then we build binary of it. But you will figure out one point that one of your friend may have uh, you know MacBook, one of your friend will have Windows. So someone who built the binary for the window will not run in the MacBook, because when you build a binary, those compilers specifically build those binaries for that architecture of machine, right?
Yes.
Now here's the problem. how then you are going to make sure that it is running in every system, right? So back in 1990 or something, there was they introduced a concept called container in Linux. It came first in the Linux itself. So container means is like you run. It's an isolate box uh, which has its own configuration for you, right?
Yes.
And you can so virtual machine is inside virtual machine you can run it, but consider a container is just like a box. It's a prepared box like a Maggie, right? It has everything. It doesn't matter where you make the Maggie, in the mountains or it at your home, in which utensil you make it, doesn't matter, it will taste same, right? Because
Yes.
they gave you a prepared thing, Maggie, and to run it everything is there in the packet itself. You just put it and it will run it. So containers like similar thing. So it is a isolate box where you have your application uh, based on your operating system that you want, maybe Linux inside that container itself, and then you run that container in in your machine, right? And you can run that container maybe server on the server, cloud server. Now in now that was good idea, and people started using it and they started putting those containers on the servers. But Google introduced internet uh, in a way that people now started feeling comfortable to start using web search, right? So Facebook also came in early 2000, and a lot of this companies started putting themselves on the internet. Then the use of internet started increasing. People start using internet, and there is the problem. Now what happens is like I am running, let's say I have a web application which is running inside three containers. There are three containers, right? If one goes down, I have two. If two goes down, I have at least one, right?
Yes.
And I can
Yes.
distribute server to one, two, three, right? But the thing is, as the user increased in the internet, now people like millions of people started using internet. Now
Yes.
manually managing those containers is very very hard. Like you are saying, I am running 500 containers manually, which is very very hard. It's not going to be easy, right? Configuring every container, making sure that every container is working, making sure that network is coming to the nearest container. It's very hard. You can't do it manually. Google
Precisely.
realized it in early 2000 because they have a lot of users. Then they have to come up with a concept where they can automate this process of increasing the container or decreasing it. Because if you have uh, let's say sometimes festival comes for Diwali and a lot of users buy from Flipkart, so they have a lot of users during that festival, but they don't have that in the December, right?
Yes.
So so you might understand that if I am running 500 containers, which is needed for Diwali, but that 500 containers might not be needed for December month, right?
Yes. Exactly.
So if I am running manually 500 in the Diwali, then 500 in the December, then I have to pay extra cost, which is getting just unused, right? So
Exactly.
if I'm deleting it manually, adding it manually, which is very hard. So Google came with a concept called Kubernetes. And Kubernetes is an automation platform. It's an orchestration platform. Orchestration and automation means Kubernetes help automate creating the containers, deleting the containers, increasing the number of containers, scaling them, or making sure that the traffic is going to the right amount of containers and managing them. Now I don't need to worry about adding, deleting, increasing traffic management, configuration, or anything. It is all automated through Kubernetes. That's what Kubernetes is, nothing else. I hope you get the idea what
Like,
Kubernetes is.
let me be very honest. That definitely makes Kubernetes feel a very less scarier than before. So, okay, so I have a follow-up question for you. So, what exactly is a service mesh? Like, if Kubernetes is the orchestra conductor, then what does a tool like Meshery fit into the performance?
Awesome. Yeah. I'll so Meshery used to be service mesh, but it is now not a service mesh manager. Number one, Meshery is a different thing, which I will explain. What about service mesh? Well, uh, so I was talking about containers, right?
Yes.
And if I have 500 containers, they also need to talk to each other,
Okay.
right? Maybe in 500 containers, I might have 100 containers which is on the website, 100 containers which are the backend side. Other 100 containers have a core business or
Yes.
payment gateway or anything else, right? So
Yes.
they all need to talk to each other to make sure whole application is working.
Okay.
That comes up with a lot of security issues, a lot of networking problems, a lot of things that you need to do manually, which doesn't come up with the native Kubernetes features. So service mesh is nothing else. It just helps you with the networking to manage your communication between your uh, containers. Now, service mesh is more uh, complex than what I explained right now. But just to give you an idea, because it is not needed in most of the cases, Kubernetes itself is not needed in most of the cases. So service mesh comes at very high level when you are working at 100 containers or more than those, or maybe more than 50 containers. It has its own specific use case. So I hope you get the idea of the service mesh.
Yes.
And
Yes.
apart from that, if I come to Meshery used to be a service mesh manager, but it is now not anymore. It's a cloud native manager. So Meshery is a cloud native manager, insa, which is a CNCF project as well. So CNCF, the Cloud Native Computing Foundation, has multiple projects, and one of them is Meshery. And what do I mean by cloud native manager? I mean is that when you use Kubernetes, I'm not sure how many of you used it, but when you try to use Kubernetes, you will find yourself in a place where you are not able to figure out what actually going on. So it might be possible that you will say, okay, 100 of containers are running and 100 of services are running. I have load balancer services and so many things, but how they are connected to each other until unless you are senior engineer or something. So Mishri connects with your Kubernetes cluster, and it visualize your whole Kubernetes cluster in a graphical user interface. It will visualize it for you on your website. So once you connect your Kubernetes cluster, you will be able to see, okay, this pod is connected to this service. It has egress, ingress, or load balancer connected to each other, and how the traffic is going on, which service is down, what's the wrong with that service. So it helps you visualize everything. So you get, once you connect your Kubernetes cluster, you have your whole Kubernetes cluster in front of you. And even after that, you can create designs in there. What a design is like, you can drag and drop a pod, you can drag and drop a service, connect each other, and give the data that you want to give, the image name and the things that you want to deploy in your pod, and the service you want to configure, and you hit the deploy button. That's it. You don't need to write any YAML, and it will deploy it for you. I'll show you if you want, but yeah.
Okay. So that was actually very great. I think that clears up a lot of confusion about what Meshery actually does. So we will be like moving to the next question. Like you have mentioned managing millions of storage volumes, a scale that's different to imagine. So when we ask about storage at that level, then what are we really referring to? Like how does it differ from data, from the idea of folders and files in a local machine?
Okay, so that talk was about how DigitalOcean manage millions of storage volumes. So we have thousands of customer which creates storage volumes every day with their droplet. So it's not different. Storage volume is just a disk which you attach with your droplet. Droplet is in DigitalOcean we call it droplet. Droplet it's similar to creating a EC2 instance in AWS. So once you create a server or droplet, you attach a disk to it. This is what we call a volume, and it can be 500 GB or 1 terabyte or whatever your requirement is. And inside the disk, then you create the uh, folders and everything. So that's what volume is. Now about the storage and the data. So that this was a talk in KubeCon that I gave in KubeCon NA this year. It was on how DigitalOcean able to manage at such a scale. So we have thousand millions of storage volumes getting created every year, and how engineering team make sure it works perfectly fine at that scale. So the talk was more on that.
Okay. Like, let me be very honest here. This was like, this sounds very mind blowing when we think about it. Like, so many things managed at this scale. So,
Yeah.
yes, correct. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, not only you, for me as well, it's mind blowing when you think of walking at such a scale. It comes with a lot of problems that we can't even imagine. It comes with a lot of networking problems, scalability problems, making sure everything works fine with each other, nothing crashes. Security is one of the major issue it comes with, but yeah.
So you spoke about like moving beyond YML, like for students new to configuration and DevOps. YML can be like frustrating because of its syntax and indentation. So beyond these surface issues, what are YML's deeper limitations at a scale, and what are the alternatives that excites you most?
So about YAML introduced itself. People introduced YAML because it has a simpler syntax compared to other. We wanted a way to write a configuration file which is very human readable, plus it is understandable by the machines. They came up with the concept of YAML, which is very nice. I love it. I love YAML, and the syntax is very simple compared to any other thing. Very human readable. But now this is an idea Mishri is coming up with, that we are moving forward where we are doing more of a collaboration. Things are more visual, right? And even if you go on the Google Doc or you make your slide, you collaborate with each other, right? So
Yes.
Mishri came up with a concept where we can visualize it. So that's why we are thinking, okay, if we can visualize your Kubernetes cluster, you don't need to write any YAML, because when you try it, so if you work with YAML, you may know that sometimes you make very small mistakes in your YAML file, which is not a syntax mistake. Syntax
That's
will
very
be
related.
identified very early. But if you somehow make a very small mistake in the image name or the image version, and there are multiple YAML files, and you're trying to figure out what's going on actually, why your pod is not running up, and whatever issue is coming, sometimes it's not easy to debug in the YAML file. But Mishri projects like Mishri can help you with identifying these kinds of problem, visualize them, so you don't need to go and debug those complex YAML files. So yeah.
So everyone watching, like, I'm sure that lot of us here have felt that YAML pain. So, like, moving on to the next question. So you are a core maintainer of Meshery, which is a part of CNCF. So could you like break down like what the CNCF is and why is it considered the gold standard for open source projects?
Okay, good question. Well, I don't know if it is considered as a gold standard or not, but
It is, sir.
okay. So, CNCF is a foundation. It's a cloud native computing foundation, and if you try to explain, you will find your answer in the word, in the words itself, like cloud native computing foundation. So anything which is related to cloud, anything which is native to cloud, right? So if you are working on cloud, it can be Kubernetes, anything which is native, observability, monitoring, uh, anything which is native to cloud comes under cloud native computing foundation. Linux Foundation was the initial foundation which manages many projects, and one of the Linux Foundation project is the Linux itself. But they figure out later on that cloud native ecosystem has a lot of growth and a lot of projects coming on which cannot be merged in Linux Foundation. So they created a separate organization under Linux Foundation called CNCF, which is now called a Cloud Native Computing Foundation. So it's a foundation. In Hindi, we call it Sanstha. And it's a foundation which are helping open source cloud native projects to get more visibility in the ecosystem and help them with marketing support they need for their open source projects.
So it's clear now like why the CNCF carries so much credibility. Like it's
Yeah.
actually the gold standard. So we'll be moving on to the next question. You have participated in LFX mentorship, right? So as both a student and a mentor, how does a program like LFX differ from something like Google Summer of Code, like in terms of technical depth required?
See, so the thing is, every open source program has its own way of running. I did not participate in hackath in Google Summer of Code because of my own reason. But did I get an opportunity to do that? Yeah, I did got it, but I did get it. But what I want to tell you about, it's like I always talk about it on Twitter, man. Uh, but what I want to actually share on these programs is like you don't need to run behind them. When I started contributing in open source project, the main motivation for me was to connect with engineers. I used to know GSOC, but I didn't know about LFX at all. But as I start contributing, they reached out to me and said, "Hey, do you want to participate in GSOC?" And I was like, "Why not? I want to participate in GSOC." But I had an incident, and I missed my deadline. But then I got the LFX internship. Then I become a mentor in LFX mentorship, and then I started managing all the internships that we do in the Meshery. So GSOC, everything I used to manage. And then later I figured out, okay, it is not that big of a deal which we think as a student. And the reason why I understand that having a GSOC tag is good. You learn a lot from your mentor. You also get the money. It's always fine. But don't chase it, man. The thing is, uh, in your college, you mainly want to focus more on your learning because when you try to contribute for GSOC, you lose the motivation after if you didn't get in GSOC. So if you focus more on learning, so if you find a project where you want to contribute, so as a mentor I also look in that. So when I became a mentor, now my responsibility, let's say I opened a 6 internship this summer, and now I have to choose 6 interns, right? And since I have to choose 6 interns, how I'm going to do it? Well, what I used to look for in interns was, um, are you here to actually do the LFX, or are you here for a long term relation with us? So as a maintainer, if I'm investing a time with in you, I'm looking if it is possible that you can stick more around, right? Because I'm not going to be here for whole time. So I want someone to come up. I can help them to become a maintainer one day. But if you are saying to me, "Hey, I'm just here to help X for getting the money and then I'll go away," then I'm not going to make you intern most probably. So try to make a relation good with your maintainers, and try to contribute early for your learning and the project benefit. And LFX GSOC, they will come to you. Just show them the work, and these are the byproduct that you will get, and you will one day realize these were not that big of a deal. The most output you will get is from the connection that you will make throughout your open source contribution, the relationship that I'm already talking about that you will make with the engineers, open source maintainers, opportunities like going to the conferences, opportunities like becoming a maintainer, right? Opportunities to become a mentor one day. And these LFX, GSOCs will come your way. Don't worry about it. You don't need to chase them, they'll come your way. Just be just make sure you are contributing in the right project and they have a good maintenance. That's all you need to do.
Like that's a very great advice from a senior dev, and like it's very great to hear this from someone who have seen both sides. So that definitely clarifies expectation of our aspiring contributors. So we will be moving to the next question. Like you have talked about RAG and AI driven system in the past. So with infrastructure covering everything from servers and Kubernetes to DevOps pipelines, and considering your work at DigitalOcean, where do we see AI making the biggest impact today? And which part of the platform on the server management will benefit first?
Yeah, good question. Well, uh, I used to be a guy who used NVIM. I don't know how many of you use it. Especially, I think if some of you contribute in the Linux, you might use it. It's a core engineer thing that I love. It's not like I you should use it. NVIM is a editing tool, is a coding tool, which helps you code it, write some scripts and code. So um, then I used to thought, am I going to use AI in my as a my agent to help me code then? But yeah, about the RAG and things is like, well, it totally depends. As far I know, is like we are still not able to figure out if AI is giving the actual profit to companies, but we are adopting it. Internal teams are adopting it. DigitalOcean, we internally we adopt a lot of AI tools to help us, make videos sometimes, editing them. Um, AI is coming, that's for sure, and it is becoming intelligent. It's also for sure, but I'm not sure right now that it is intelligent enough um, to get the actual business output. But it will be one day for sure. And for now, we are trying to figure out how to run AI/ML workloads in Kubernetes. We are trying to figure out how we can use AI/ML tools to debug, help us code faster, right? And one day, maybe we don't need to code anymore. They can code for us. We can just focus more on the business logic that we want. And so I think AI is coming for sure. And uh, it would be nice if you can leverage AI in your coding tool and everything, making sure that you understand the basics. It should not be like, okay, you don't know shit what AI is talking about, but you should know everything by yourself. The basics should be understandable, and then AI is helping you just to make sure you don't need to write unnecessary code, which can be wrote by AI. You just focus on making sure your code works and it is logical and it is intentional. Just in case, I'm seeing a lot of PRs coming made by AI, and they don't know shit about what. Sorry for my language, but they
No.
don't know anything about what's going on in their code. So know the thing that you are doing in your code, and use AI to improve on it, and then figure out. Let's say if I'm a maintainer, if I'm saying, okay, why did you choose to go with this approach? And they will say, okay, because a funny incident happened yesterday. I'll show you by sharing a screen. You will laugh as well. And but incident was about, we were talking, I saw a PR and someone of our maintainer asked them why you have so many changes in your PR, and he replied that I did not make those changes. My co-pilot posted those changes to my forked repository. That's why they are there. So you need to understand. Um, um, you can't let AI do whatever it is wanted to do. You want to make sure AI is your agent. It is helping you reduce your work, right? Not to introduce some new thing in your code, not to introduce some new concept which you are not following as a code practice. So if you know basics, if you know the actually what you are going doing, then you can use AI beneficially to improve upon it, instead of writing asking AI to do everything and then you don't know whatever it is and you just raise the PR and expecting us maintainers to review it. We will close our PR. So
Okay.
use AI, and AI is coming for sure.
Okay. So it sounds like that AI has become a necessary evil, and like it's making us young developers a bit lazy and a nightmare for you all. And
Yeah.
so it's really interesting that how AI is reshaping even the infrastructure work. That's definitely gives us a lot to think about. So moving on to the last question. So you have built an incredible global presence by speaking at KubeCons across different countries. So, for us students who are looking at a tech landscape that's changing way faster than ever with AI and cloud native tech, what is the mindset that we should hold on to and stay relevant and excited about engineering over the next years, like over the coming years? What would be your advice?
See, one thing I realized, which I'll share first, whatever I'm sharing is not necessarily going to work for you. So I stopped following prescriptions or step by step guide long ago, because I figure out I have to create my own path, right? And to create your own path, you have to figure out things by yourself. If I'm sharing, okay, do this 6 things and you will be successful, or if you do this 6 things, you will get a job. Well, I'll suggest not to do that. This was the general advice I want to give you before I share anything, just to make sure you analyze by yourself what works for you and what didn't. Now, what I'll suggest is like, all if you are only coding, it's not going to help you much. You have to build your presence online nowadays. You The market is tough, but it is not tough for smart peoples. That's for sure. Um, and what you can do is start sharing your work publicly so that others can see it. Maybe share on Twitter, maybe share on LinkedIn, and write blogs, go to conferences. You don't need to go outside of a country. If you have budget, feel free to go there. But if you don't, a lot of conferences happens inside India itself. KubeCon India happened last year. KubeCon India will be happening in August. You can apply for a scholarship. You will get the scholarship, and you will get an opportunity to meet so many engineers. Try to contribute in open source if you want to learn, not because GSOC, or if you want to actually do it, not because everyone is doing it. Contribute because you think you'll learn something. Also, you will help the project, which also a public uh, resume for others to see it. It will help you build public profile. It will help you connect with amazing engineers. It will help you with infinite opportunities, which even I'm not sure, right? So you can do that as well. So and as you contribute, you will find yourself one day that you contributed enough that you want to share your journey with public. So you can start sharing your journey on the Twitter, you can start sharing your journey on the LinkedIn, so that people know you, that you do something, right? People actually know you now. Nowadays, if you are a software engineer plus people know you, is the best thing that you can do to yourself, instead of software engineer which nobody knows, right? So either you are some kind of psychic software engineer which can code within operating system within a night and do some crazy stuff. That's a different thing, but we have our own life as well, right? So if you are a software engineer and you have a social online profile, social profiles where people know you, connect with you, amazing engineers know you, they know your work, they will reach out to you with an opportunity to work. Plus you can reach out to them and start making connection, not for job, uh, because you need a job, that's why you are connecting. Once you have a job, then you are not connecting is not a good thing. Go and reach out to people, say, hey, so what I used to do is like, hey, I'm Yash, I contribute in Meshery, it's an open source initiative project. Would love to connect with you and happy to see your journey. Would love to have some time a coffee chat if you are available. If not, that's totally fine. You don't need to do one coffee chat. I just wanted to drop a hi and would love to connect with you in the future. Connect, interact with their social post, comment, so that they know you, right? Meet them in person if they live in your city. Offer them a dinner. Go and say, hey, dinner on me. Would you like to come join or have a coffee chat or something? Or maybe you start a podcast. Maybe you start something. Just do something which helps you build an online presence, right? And so that people know you, and one day if you get an opportunity you are able to do it. So try to do that, and after that I don't have anything to say. You will get anyway, you will get opportunities which I'm not even sure. So yeah.
So that was really a motivating one. And let me say that was a very good to remember senior advice to us
Yes.
juniors. So now, so everyone, now Mr. Yash would be sharing his screen to show us something very exciting. So,
Sure, I'll share very quickly. I'll not take much time. I don't think so. I have much to share, but I was just going through a few things, and I think what you can do is like if you are interested contributing in Meshery, you can go and check out the Meshery. And Meshery is an open source project, and I started very small by fixing a CSS issue. So this is how Meshery looks like. And if you go scroll down, you will see how it helps you visualize your Kubernetes cluster. Please don't raise any AI related PR. And I think if I just a second, I hope I'm sharing right screen. So if I think I'll share with you a thing that I'm talking about. So this was the PR. So if you see it, so one of the reviewers said, please keep the changes limited to what is relevant to the issue. And that guy said, these changes are posted by Copilot to my main forked repository, right? So try to understand that AI should not do things for you. By the way, I loved the way he wrote the whole PR description, but yeah, just make sure that you don't do that with AI. So yeah, start with open source. If you want to do it, don't use AI to raise PRs. Learn something. Join meetings. Mishri has public meetings every week. Try to join. I usually host Wednesday meetings. You can find me there, and then say hi to everyone. Say hi to maintainers, and that's how you start. If you like it, contribute. If you don't like it, maybe don't contribute. Contribute in somewhere else. And one also great thing that I found, I don't know how many of you use it. Hacker News is a great platform for all the tech news. So if you don't know, just use it. Best place for you to find every any new thing that's going on. And tech Twitter is the best place. Go tweet on Twitter, whatever you are working on, whatever you things you are doing. So previously, I used to tweet like this. Okay, hey, in Jan, I have no internship. In March, I got the internship, all because of open source engagement. It got likes, right? And I used to contribute, share like, hey, struggling to find mentors. Here's how I met mentors, and I got amazing engagement. See, and like I just shared this very simple thing. I thought I should share this how I learned HTML and everything, and people liked it. One day I shared about like there are 28 millions of open source repositories, and people liked it. So then you will build a following, and then you will figure out that people now start knowing you. People know you now, right? And I got a lot of great opportunity. Even the DigitalOcean opportunity I got because I have a good presence on Twitter. And yeah, build your presence on social platforms so people know you. You you are building something, right? Or even if you build your presence on this social platform, the good thing about is that you can leverage it with many other opportunities. Even you are not going to a company, you can leverage these audience to maybe start a startup, maybe start your open source project. So do that. And and yeah, I think that's it. And for Kubernetes, go to the CNCF landscape. So what if you want to contribute in and if you want to figure out where to contribute, go to a CNCF landscape. So this is a place where you will find all the CNCF projects. You can just see these. There are so many open source projects. All are open source. And if you think, okay, I want to contribute in the service mesh, you can go and click on the STO and go to their GitHub repository. Although I suggest pick the project which has less than 10,000 stars, but you can figure out like, okay, I want to maybe open EPVS if you want to contribute, or maybe QFS or Crossplane, Dapper is a great project. I met the Dapper founders in in KubeCon, and I had a great chat with them. Even I did a one session with them on Twitter, and it's a great project. See how many stars it have. Just make sure you give them stars. It's always helpful for maintenance to get some motivation from stars. So do
Roger.
that as well. Yeah, just do it, man. I always make sure if I'm going to open source project, I like, until unless it's not a malware thing, I give them a star because it helps them motivate. It motivates them because they are doing it for free. So
Yes, that sounds fine.
let's do
So,
that as well.
yeah, okay, sir. So that was incredibly insightful, sir, and like a golden advice for us juniors. So now we will be taking some questions from our audience, and I'll read it to them, read it to you one by one. And okay, so I'm just beginning. So the first question is: many times my project becomes messy and I find it very difficult to add new features. So I'm planning to focus on low level design. Do you have any tips? This is from Abhishek.
Okay. Hey, Abhishek. Yeah. Well, you can, so I think what you can do is like whatever your tech stack is, um, what I think would be nice is if you can search related projects in GitHub, you know, and which is really good quality GitHub projects, got a lot of popularity, and go through their repository, try to understand their structure, how they structure their whole modules things, right? And how they make sure their functions, modules, and everything is properly set up, and how they're configuring it. So go and check out their whole repository, go to multiple repos, and check out their PRs, how people are reviewing it. That's the best way you can learn how the standard industry based uh, you know designs are making, architecture is made for your tech stack that you are learning. And other thing is check out YouTube, man. That's a good thing. Number one, you are practicing it. That's a first thing good, because you are messing up, and once you mess up thousand times, these things are not going to work. These models are not going to work for you. So the more you will practice, the more you will figure out, okay, this is the best practice I should follow. So make sure you iterate a lot on your low level design, whatever you're designing for your application. Check out GitHub repositories, best GitHub repositories for that level of tech stack, and also check out some YouTube and good practices on blog, and you will learn a lot. Do more and more practice, the best thing you can do.
Okay, that was like a really good advice. Now we'll be taking one more question. Like, so this is from Shivam. Hi, I am a state level diploma student from ETC branch. I want to go into cybersecurity. It is my fourth semester, so could you please guide me?
So I will not be the right person to guide you in the cybersecurity ecosystem, because I have never contributed in the ecosystem of cybersecurity. So I will be very honest. So one suggestion I'll always give you with is like always follow the people who you want to be in their position. So if don't follow I will be not the right person to give you the advice for the cybersecurity since I haven't done it, and giving you advice will be also bad from my side. But what I will suggest to you is like there are so many great people from the cybersecurity ecosystem in the GitHub or Twitter, LinkedIn. Again, it's all same advice. So go and reach out to them because they are the actual industry experts in that ecosystem and they can give you the best advice, right? But GitHub open source projects always work. So find open source cybersecurity projects that you find interesting or use in your daily life and try to contribute in that ecosystem. And you will find amazing engineers, maintainers who are experts, literally experts in cybersecurity ecosystem, top level OG people. You'll find there. And guess what? They have very, very less following. So when you will send them email or a message, they will reply you back. So we will get reply from OGs. So go ahead, do it. I did it. So
Okay. So we will be moving to the next question. Like this is from Ankit. I have noticed that you use Go a lot for an UG student choosing their next language. Why should they pick Go over something like Python or Java for backend and cloud work?
don't pick. So don't pick it. That's not how you pick the language. You pick the language based on the business outcome you want, right? So you have to figure out when you come into the production, you will figure out that what is the business outcome I'm looking for, and you have to consider a lot of things when you're picking up a language to build a project. And as a student, you can pick any language and build upon it because you need a skill set to show to the possible employer in the future. But when you come into a company, you don't decide I like Go, that's why I'm building in Go. That's not how you decide. I choose Golang because Kubernetes is made in Go, and whole ecosystem and other open source projects is made in Go. So when I'm working in Go and contribute in Meshery, it is helpful for me because if we will make the backend server of Meshery in Go, it will be very easy to integrate with other open source projects in the Kubernetes ecosystem because other open source projects also made in Go, and Go had a lot good qualities like syntax, easy syntax, good garbage collection. So that's why I choose Go. You don't choose Go because you like it, or you don't choose Java because you like it. You have to figure out the business outcome, and with that business outcome, which language actually gives you that, you learn it and do it, right? So if you want, but as a student, you have to pick a language to go inside that ecosystem. So Go has a lot of reach in CNCF ecosystem. If you want to contribute in the CNCF projects, you can learn Go.
So that was some really good advice. Now, so we have one more question over here from Priyanshu. So I am a student from core branch. I don't know where to start in tech and I want to go in tech. Some advice, please.
Sorry, I missed the question. He's a what is
Okay,
it?
I'll repeat it again.
Hmm.
So this is from Priyanshu. He's saying that I am a student from core branch. I don't
Mhm.
know where to start in tech and I want to go in tech. So please, some advice.
You you want to go in tech. Well, the thing is, you have to give a lot of trial and error. So first of all, you have to figure out which is an area of interest for you. It's like Android apps that you want to build. It's like websites that you want to build. It's like backend you want to go. It's like DevOps, like operation side you want to go. Production, CI/CD side you want to go. Now to figure that out, I can't tell you which should be good fit for you. You have to figure out by yourself by learning everything. So you learn website, and then you figure out okay, webs is it for you or not. Then you build Android apps, and then you have to figure out is it for you or not. And once you figure out okay what you like, go all in that thing. So um, just Google it. Google is very powerful. Cloud is very powerful. Chat GPT is very powerful. Ask anything with them. So if you are building a project with JavaScript, learn JavaScript, then build crazy projects with JavaScript, and then use AI to mentor you instead of asking them to do the work for you, and use AI to mentor you, and the AI will help you. Okay, this is where you are making mistake or not, and then if you once you figured which area is your interest, then go all in, contribute in GitHub or open source project, or reach out to people on LinkedIn. And as you are building, let's say you learned a first concept in JavaScript which is very like very well you learned in JavaScript, just share on Twitter, hey, today I learned how to create variables in JavaScript, this is my learning. That's it, post it, and soon you will find your path.
So that was very insightful, sir. So this would be the last question. It's from Rishi. So does CGPA really matters in like for landing in today's tech jobs?
See, no, but but hear me out. It matters because um, if sometimes traditional companies like Microsoft and other, if they are coming to your campus, they will look for your CGPA, because that shows that even when you are working on your side projects, you are able to manage your academic as well. And there are so many amazing uh, chap I will say uh, projects or lessons that you will get from the college. Let's say you have a maybe there's what was it state machines. You in your third year you will learn about state machines, Postgres, and many things, which is really helpful as well. So having a good CGPA doesn't hurt, but does it matter? No. But if you have a good CGPA, it will help you sit in the placement. And if they are judging based on your CGPA, you will not miss it. I don't want you to miss an opportunity just because you have less CGPA, right? So have a good CGPA. You don't need to have 9.99. At least have more than 7.5 or 8. It should be fine. I think it should be enough. I had 7.99. It was fine. So just have at least 7.5, more than a 7.5, so that you don't miss opportunity just to sit in the placement, right? So yeah, it doesn't matter, but make sure you have it. You have a good CGPA.
Okay, so that was incredibly insightful. Mr. Yash, thank you for breaking down these complex concepts and showing us that there's a whole world of infrastructure waiting for us beyond our local terminal. I think the biggest takeaway for all of us today is that expert is just another word for someone who started as a curious student and never stopped contributing. Thank you so much, Yashar, for your like so much valuable time, your transparency, and for being such an inspiration to the student community. So let us all give a huge round of applause for Yash Sharma. And thank you so much, sir.